Hi everyone, welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. So I thought we'd do a throwback, to be honest. I pulled out some Becca products again, mainly because I'm thinking like it's time to let something go. Ugh, but it hurts me. But I don't think that these particular ones I'm letting go. I think it'd be more the palettes that I'm going to let go. So let's start with the foundation. I just threw on the Light Wonder by Charlotte Tilbury. I just wanted something to kind of even out my skin tone. And then for concealer, I am using the Item Beauty concealer. I'm going to be using this up. I think I'll have it done by the end of the year. I set the T-zone with the Prism Libre powder in 2. I didn't set the rest of the face. I know. I forgot. Luckily, it all worked out good. But I did forget. So for bronzer, I got the Bronze Bondi. And this bronzer kinda reminds me of the Armani. The tone, the finish, everything. Um, but I don't think I'll be getting rid of it because it's just so tiny. I could use this up in no time, so I don't see a point in getting rid of something like that. But I will say the formula, I like the Armani better. So as far as formula goes, I think I could let the palettes that have got the bronzers in it go. And I don't think Becca's coming back. I kind of wonder, like, should I keep stuff? Because, like, what if they come back to compare, that sort of stuff. But even if they did, you really can't compare because the product is going to be so old. It's like comparing the Urban Decay Naked Original to the first one. That palette could be 12 years old. There is no way. I'm sure it still performs well, but there's no way it performs like it did when you first got it. At least I don't think so. But I don't have anything that's 12 years old either, so I couldn't really tell you. My opinion. Uh, for the blush, I'm wearing Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Luminous Blush in Camilla. This is so pretty. It is almost like the NARS Orgasm, except like the color, but there is a little bit like shimmer to it. It's more like a luminosity to it, but without like the glitter and the shimmer or something. I don't know. I can see it, but I don't see like little sparkles, and it's not as intense on my cheeks. And I didn't even set my cheeks. So if I would have set them, I feel like it would have been even less than what you're seeing. So I won't get rid of this blush because it's one of my favorites, to be fair. And then for the highlighter, I was going to grab Champagne Pop, but I had been using that in a couple of videos. So I decided to go with Moon Dust. Is that right? No, Moonstone. Moonstone, sorry guys. And to be fair, again, it's a small. I don't need to get rid of it. It's so tiny. But I like this one. Actually, I like the shade of this one better than Champagne Pop. I know. But, with that said, I have Moonstone. I have Champagne Pop. I have Lilac Gourd, I think. And another one. So, again, do I need the palettes that have got these in them? I don't think I do. So I think there's quite a few Becca things that I am going to let go of. They've served me well and all that, but I just think it's time. I need to clean my space and be able to use the products I love and show you the products that I love, you know? Alright, and then for the palette today, I brought out Naked 2. The reason being, I wasn't not going to use it, but I just wasn't going to use it because I've heard a lot of people saying, I've never picked up the original. I never picked it up. I never did. Did you sit back and go, why? Why didn't you pick it up? I did. Now, I picked it up. Hear me out. I picked it up, but only because of like what I'm trying to do here. If I was just an ordinary person, I wouldn't have picked this up. I would use my Natasha Denona I Need a Nude, the Glam palette, the uh the palettes that got like the blush, like any one of those I would pick up, okay? And this one is a little darker, and here's the thing, there it seems there's 4 mattes in this one. One looks like it would be a setting powder for like the MAC soft ochre, and the other one is the shade that would be a setting powder for like the painterly paint pot, okay? So with that said, that leaves you 2 mattes. One that's like a taupey gray brown and black. And you'll see in my look, it took me a second, okay? So neither one of these palettes would have been palettes I would have picked up to begin with. Now this one though, after using it, I will say at the time I think I did miss out on something. But in today's market, with what is out there, with what I already have, I ain't missing nothing, okay? My Natasha Denona way outdoes this palette. And the price point, yes, it is a tad bit more, but it's just worth it. I mean, it is what it is. I feel like personally, it's just worth it to go to the Natasha Denona. I'm wearing a red lip. It's driving me crazy because I know it's going to be everywhere. Within my soul, I know. But we're going to hope it doesn't. For the lip, I pulled out my YSL. It's a water stain in, I think it's shade 612. So that's what's on my lips. I hope it is a stain. Like, I hope, like, right now I know it's still transferring, like, on my straw and stuff, but not badly. So I'm hoping, but I did have that Nourishing Sigma thing on my lips prior, so that may play with the formula a little bit, but I'm hoping that it will stay put. Let's get into the palette. So the first thing I did was I used the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in anti-aging, and then I set the lid with Foxy, this very first shade right here. This very first one I set the lid with. Now we're going to go into Tease. I'm going to go ahead and take out this brush too, because I'm going to lose it if not. It's just going to fall out. So I'm going to go into Tease right here, and then we'll go into this black shade called Blackout. For my nails, I'm wearing LA Color Gel nail polish in Samba. I really like those. I'm just going to put it out there. Alright, let's go into Tease. I mean, I do think that these were popular for a reason back in the day. Like, they deserved the hype they got back in the day. I won't, I'm not saying that by no means. Even the quality that's in this palette here, it deserves the hype. It's not the easiest, but compared to what was on the market and how much you had to pay for stuff, like, I get why people really, really went for this and really liked it and raved about them, because it makes sense. It's just times have changed. And to be fair, you're not missing much. You're really not. Do I like it? Of course. Can I make it work? Yes. Does it create a beautiful look? Yes. But if somebody took all my makeup and gave me, say, $70 and was like, what eyeshadow palette will you buy? It's not going to be this. And it wouldn't be the original. It wouldn't be Urban Decay. It would be Natasha Denona, most likely. In my opinion, that's where I think I would spend my money. And I think that she has replicas to all these with different formulas even to play with. But like, I don't think that this is a bad formula by no means. It's not my favorite though, I'll be honest. It's not. But it isn't like, it's the black that's the problem. But blacks were a problem then, and they still are, although they've gotten much better in today's, market. I'm trying to make sure I get this blended out good because they're really not the easiest to blend. Alright, we're going to take that same shade under the lower lash line. I just dropped my mascaras on the floor. And I do think you could use some of these satin shades in here as mattes to create a look if you wanted to. It just wasn't the route I was going to go today. And to be fair, I'm not in a bad mood, but this look kind of suits my mood, let's just say that. I'm hardly ever in a bad mood, though, to be fair. It's more like I need a reset mood, or maybe sad or scared, but never like a bad mood, like I'm mad or anything. I'm hardly ever that anymore. I don't know why. I'm sure age has something to do with it. Okay, now we're going to go into this black. Blackout's what it's called. And I'm just going to pick up a very little bit of it. Because I will say it is pigmented. Like, hard to blend. Now watch it not be stubborn on this eye. And again, black's not a color I play with much, so take that for what it is also. But I will say that I do play with like Natasha Denona's black, and I didn't really have any issues there. It's the blending for me that I can't get. Like, it lays down. And this could be user error, just so you know. This could definitely be user error, as I am not a makeup artist. I have no idea what I'm doing. I could be using the wrong brush, anything. So do keep all that in mind. But I've used the Natasha Denona black and I don't have any problems. It's still hard, don't get me wrong, to use because I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, but it still applies nicely, if that makes sense. And to be fair, I had to go back and forth quite a bit between this shade and the shade Tease to even try to help it blend to where you didn't see anything weird. By doing it though, it did help it blend, obviously, as you can see. Alright. Now I'm going to take that same black, the blackout shade, and we're going to line the lower lash line right up on the lash line. And that's another reason I think this is a hard shade to blend, because it didn't really want to smudge across the lash line even. And y'all know how I feel about this rougher brush for that. It's one of the best brushes for this. And to me, if it can't make it work, no brush is going to make it work. And it did make it work. Barely. And then I asked myself, is the hassle worth the look? You know what I mean? Because, like, if you're in love with the look at the end of the day, yeah, it might have been a pain in the butt, but it looks so good, it's like it's worth it, right? You're almost like justifying. I'm just pushing that also into the upper lash line here, just in the corner though. Okay, now we'll go back into tease and run it under that lash line. I didn't get any fallout or anything, so that is a plus. Alright, we'll continue. Alright, then for the lid, I picked up the shade Decay, which is this shade right here. And we're going to lay it on the lid. And again, this helped blend over here also. Although right now it looks pretty blended. It don't look bad at all. I'm going to have to get the magnifying mirror. Sorry. I wanted you all to see it as I was doing it, but I can't see from that far away to even see what I'm doing. Because if I struggle, like, I want you to see the struggle. That way you can see, is it me? Is it the palette? Is it the brushes? Like, you know, you have your own theory on it. As in, you might be able to make it work when I can't. I will say these shimmers, they do look nice on the eye. They do. Alright, for inner corner though, y'all, I ain't done a map. And I didn't want to, I hate to do it, but I have to. We're going to pull in the Urban Decay Cosmic shadow. And I'm just going to put it in my inner corner. I'm picking it up on this little brush right here, and we are going to just plop it in the inner corner. Pat it in there. That's it. And I'm trying to be very strategic with it too. I will say this shade here, this Cosmic shade, now the Moon Dust in general can come in handy, don't get me wrong, but this particular one comes in handy for me more times than not when a palette just doesn't have like a inner corner for me. It's like this shade will work with any look. You can make it somehow, some way work. It's craziness. But I so adore that shade. It's like, it's just the best. This itty bitty shade is just the best. Alright, now we're going to take the blackout shade and we're going to line the top lash line. Again, try to. And I'm well aware that some of this is a me thing, like, because I'm not a makeup artist, like, I don't know what to do. But some of this is the shadow. But here's the thing with the shadow. This palette is probably $6 years old. And technically the shelf life of this product is 24 months. Oh, it has a 2-year thing. I mean, that's not bad. Is that really what that says? 4 months, yeah. Okay. I wasn't prepared for that, but okay. That's good, at least, I think. For eyeliner, we're going to go into LSD. It's like this midnight blue, which I just thought looked so pretty against the gray and black. Having the blue in the waterline. I was going to put a silver, but I wanted to try something just a little bit different, and I feel like this is a little bit different for me. Personally, considering most of my looks is a white liner or a cream liner, I feel like that's a little bit different, you know? For mascara, we're going to use for the top lashes my Marc Jacobs. Like, I do think that that palette performed just as good as the original, the new original Urban Decay palette. And I think at the time, they were phenomenal products. For sure. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. But in today's market, it's just another palette, you know? In my opinion. You can get these color stories with same price brands, lower price brands, higher price brands, with a better formula even. I think, to be fair, what you're paying for is nostalgia. And I get it. I'm there with you. So don't think for 1 second like I'm judging or anything like that. I'm not. I'm right there. And you know, maybe these new brands are running, like, took the color stories of these palettes and made an up to date version of them, even. I could definitely see the inspiration in a lot of these newer palettes coming from the first three Naked palettes. Even add the smoky in, I can see where other palettes could be similar but yet different in a modern way or a modern twist, even, to be fair. We're going to put Lancome on the lower lashes. Very little. I'm like barely touching the lash. Because to be fair, it's pretty dark down there as is. Alright. And I do think that that eyeliner does something to this look too. It almost makes it look like a midnight sky. In a way. In my opinion, that is. Is it? I don't know. But in my opinion, it does. And I will say that this lipstick's holding up pretty good. It is barely coming off the straw. It is starting to dry down. I can feel that also. But it still has a shine to it. Right now, I'm just hoping it don't go everywhere. And that it fades nicely. So far, so good with that stain, though. And I am getting more into stains when it comes to these kind of lips. Because if this lasts and wears well and doesn't do anything weird, then I would wear a red. But any other time, I don't want to wear a red because they're just too finicky. I think they're beautiful, but they're finicky. And I'd rather just play with a nude because they're just easier to, you know, maintain through the day. But that is all I have for you today. I will say this is a really pretty eye look, though. What do you think? And I do think at the end of the day, also, that black, it did well. It did what it could do. We'll just say that. Or it did what it could do with me being the one manipulating it. It's probably a better. Alright, well, that's all I have for you today. I know I gotta leave Urban Decay behind. It was nice to go down memory lane, though. I did want to do a look, I think, with the smoky palette, but I don't think I have to now. Because this is kind of giving me the feels for this, you know, for the smoky look, to be fair. So, I'm pretty sure we can go ahead and put the Naked Decay palettes away. I might keep this one, the original, out for a little bit longer just to play with it some more, maybe. Maybe not. You know, I don't know if I will, because the other palette I was thinking about, I know this video is going to be forever long, I'm so sorry, but I have to point it out just in case, was, well, no, was this Hershey palette here. But to be fair, this is definitely more red-brown, so that's not. And I keep these palettes out. I try to keep a certain number of nudes, a certain number of colorful palettes beside me. That way I don't have to think too much. But I try to keep my favorites, that is, also. Not just anything, but my favorite colors beside me from the palettes. And I don't know if that Urban Decay is going to be able to rival these other palettes, to be fair. What do you think? Do you think Urban Decay can still rival other brands? Do you think they have it? Let me know. Based on quality, product, not nostalgia. Because I'm going to guarantee this palette is going to be a huge seller. I feel it, I do. But not for the reason of it being the best palette at this time, in this day and age. But that is all I have for you today. I will let you go. It was a long enough video. I do apologize. It is long. I'm slow. Thank you. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all. That way you're notified when I upload. I do upload every day but Sunday, unless there's a new launch. There's not going to be one for a while, just FYI. But, yeah, I do upload every day but Sunday, and I'll see you in the next one. And if there's a video you'd like to see, let me know. Take care, guys. Bye.